The world has shrunk to the diameter of the palisade for 3 days. A merciless monsoon has turned the clearing into a churning bowl of mud and the crimson river into a brown, raging torrent that muffles sound and chills the soul. A relentless drumming against the sharpened logs that are the clan's only shield against a world of teeth inside. The air is thick with the smell of wet fur, damp earth, and fear. This is the unforgiving rhythm of prehistoric life, where survival is measured in the strength of one's walls and the dwindling of one's supplies. The fortress itself, a ring of yew logs 10 feet high, is a testament to the desperate ingenuity of early humans, a defiant fist of wood shaken at a world that wants to devour them. Kale, whose face is a roadmap of 50 hard seasons, squints from the watch platform. His eyes ache from staring into the grey deluge, searching for shapes that do not belong. The younger hunters huddle below, gripping their ancient tools, spears of fire-hardened, yew and axes of chipped flint bound to wood with wet sinew. They listen for a sound other than the storm, but the rain eats everything. It is a perfect hunter's cloak, and they all know it. This is a crucial, terrifying moment in hominid history, a test of foresight and communal defense against an ancient, overwhelming power. They are not warriors, but survivors, and the distinction feels razor-thin. The first warning is not a roar but a scrapey dry, rasping sound of claw on wood. Impossibly close it comes from the western wall. Near the gate, every head snaps in that direction. Another scrape follows, then another, testing the timber. Kale's knuckles are white where he grips the railing. He makes a low, guttural sound, a signal that ripples through the compound. Mothers pull their children tighter in the smoky gloom of their long hut. The hunters move silently, their bare feet sinking into the mud, forming a line behind the threatened section of the wall. Then, through the narrow firing slits, they see them, eyes, pairs of them, glowing like malevolent embers in the grey gloom. They blink slowly, with an unnerving lack of panic. The Utahraptors. The pack moves with the chilling coordination of the Rid family, sleek and powerful, their sickle claws held just above the muck. Their feathers, a mottled brown and grey, are plastered to their bodies by the rain, making them look like wretched, skeletal demons. They are not merely hungry. They are calculating. One of the dinosaurs, a large male with a scarred snout, lets out a series of sharp, barking clicks. It is not a challenge, it is a command. Instantly, a younger raptor detaches from the group and launches itself at the gate. A blur of motion, it doesn't try to break through. It slams its weight against the crossbar, testing the bindings at the same moment. To more dart along the palisade's base, their claws searching for purchase, for any weakness in the wood. It is a probe, a tactical assessment from the platform. Kale watches in horror. This is not the blind fury of an Allosaurus. This is intelligence. This is a siege. The siege has become a war of attrition. 5 days have passed under the grey sky, and the world has become a prison of wet wood and gnawing hunger. The last of the smoked fish is gone, the strips of dried mammoth meat reduced to a few precious handfuls reserved for the children. Thirst is not the problem. The rain is endless, but the cold has seeped into their bones, a deep, persistent take that no fire can fully banish. This slow decay is a different kind of terror than a direct assault. It is a siege of the spirit as much as the flesh, a core challenge in the story of human evolution. The Utahraptors are patient. They test the walls at dawn and dusk. Their sharp clicks and hissing calls are constant, a nerving chorus to the storm. They are always there, a shadowy promise of dismemberment just beyond the logs. Inside, the clan's cohesion frays. Tempers are sure to squabble over a piece of scavenge. Droop turns ugly before Kale silences it with a glare that carries the weight of 100 graves. He sees the hollows deepening under their eyes, the slackness of despair beginning to set in their shoulders. He knows this is how a clan dies, not in a glorious fight, but in a damp, miserable whisper. The fortress, their pinnacle of primitive technology, is becoming their tomb. The crisis point arrives on the 6th morning during the raptor's dawn probe. The large, scar-snouted male throws its full weight against a section of the palisade that borders the riverbank. The wood, saturated and softened by the relentless rain, groans. A loud crack echoes through the compound, a sound more terrifying than any roar. Kale and the others rush to the spot. A massive yew log is split vertically down its core. The outer splinters are held together by mere threads of wood and vine lashings. It will not survive another impact. The breach is inevitable. A council of elders gathers in the long hut, their faces illuminated by the flickering, smoky fire. Mara, the clan's eldest woman, her face a mask of wrinkles, Speaks first. Her voice is a dry rasp. The wall must be braced from the outside. A heavy silence. They all know the raptors are out there, watching, waiting for precisely this a mistake, a moment of weakness. It is a hard choice that defines their existence as ancient humans, the needs of the many, weighed against the life of one. A young hunter named Lowell, barely 20 seasons old, steps forward. He is lean and quiet, but his hands are strong, skilled at shaping wood and stone. I can do it, he says, his voice steady despite the tremor. He feels in his gut, my father taught me how to set a brace that will hold against a charging triceratops. I will need the big mallet and 3 oak wedges. The mallet is a fierce, a musty-odon Utahraptor tool, the heavy, fossilized cut bale of an Ankylosaurus. A weapon and a tool in one. The clan looks at him, a mixture of hope and pity in their eyes. He is offering his life. Kel places a hand on the young man's shoulder, a silent acknowledgement of the sacrifice. There is no other way. Survival skills here are not just about hunting, but about building, and sometimes about dying for the chance that others might see another sunrise. The plan is born of desperation, a flicker of intelligence against a storm of claws and teeth. The elders know that waiting for the wall to fall is suicide. Defending a single breach against a pack of Utahraptors is impossible. They are too fast, too numerous. Their only hope is to change the battlefield. Kale, Mara, and the lead hunters gather around the dwindling fire, their faces etched with the grim calculus of survival. The Crimson River, their life source, now swollen and furious, is their only ally. The core of the idea is a piece of brutal foresight. Turn the raptors' greatest assets, their speed, aggression, and relentless focus, into a trap. They will not just brace the wall, they will bait it. The hours before dawn are a blur of quiet, purposeful activity, a testament to the community's will to live under the cover of the roaring storm. Nor is lowered over the eastern palisade, far from the weakened section, a rope of braided sinew tied around his waist. He carries only the oak wedges and a small flint knife. His task is not to repair, but to sabotage with painstaking slowness. He works his way along the base of the wall, moving through the sucking mud toward the cracked log. He is a ghost in the deluge, his every movement a prayer against the flick of a raptor's eye. The tension in the compound is a physical thing, a knot in every stomach. Meanwhile, Kale directs the others. They gather every remaining piece of dried wood, every scrap of flammable moss, and douse them in the precious, guarded reserves of rendered animal that they fashion dozens of torches. Their tips wrapped in resin so tight. This is their pyrotechnology, the magic of fire, the one true gift their ancestors passed down. 2 of the strongest hunters, armed with heavy stone mallets, stand ready at the gate's main crossbar. They are not preparing to defend it, they are preparing to shatter it. Just as the first hint of grey light pollutes the black sky, a sharp whistle cuts through the rain. It is Law's signal. He has driven the wedges deep into the existing crack, widening it just enough, making it an irresistible invitation. He is being hauled back up the wall, his body shaking uncontrollably at the same moment. The scarce-knouted raptor lets out a triumphant, screeching cry. The trap has been seen. The pack surges forward. A wave of reptilian fury. They abandon their scattered probes and converge on the weakened point, a single-minded torrent of muscle and sickle claw. Now Kale roars. The hunters at the gate swing their mallets, and the crossbar explodes in a shower of splinters. The gate swings open, not inward but outward, toward the river. The hunters with the torches, already lit from the central fire, rush out, forming 2 lines, a corridor of fire leading from the tempting breach directly to the raging, debris-choked river. The scarce-knouted male, blinded by predatory lust, slams into the weakened log. It splinters and falls away, and the alpha leaps through. Expecting a cowering meal instead, it finds itself in a gauntlet of flames, the heat searing its feathers behind it. The rest of the pack, driven by instinct and the scent of an open kill, pours through the breach, their momentum carrying them forward into the fiery channel. They screech in confusion and pain, the fire blocking retreat, their own numbers preventing them from stopping. They are no longer intelligent hunters. They are a panicked stampede, funneled directly toward the crumbling, muddy bank of the Crimson River. Embers and echoes. The dawn breaks to a scene of primeval victory. The Crimson River, true to its name, carries the broken bodies of the Dromedars wards downstream, their sickle claws rendered useless by the churning water and crushing debris. The rain finally softens to a drizzle, washing the mud clean of blood, but not of memory. The clan stands in the breach of their fortress, not cheering, but breathing the air smells of wet ash, river mud, and survival. They have stared into the intelligent eyes of the prehistoric world's perfect killer and shown it the terrible, unpredictable fire of the human mind. Their fortress is broken, their food is gone, and their future is as uncertain as the shifting riverbank, but they are alive. This single, brutal event, this siege, becomes a story told around fires for generations, a foundational piece of their anthropology. It is a lesson carved in wooden bone that the greatest walls are not made of logs, but of courage and cunning, and that the history of our species is not a tale of dominance, but of defiance. How many times in the deep, unwritten history of our kind did such a scene play out when a small band of hominids, armed with nothing but rocks, fire, and the audacious belief in each other, decided they would not betray their victory, is an echo that still resounds in us. The quiet, unyielding whisper that even in the face of titanic power, the clever ape can, and will, find a way to endure. This is the chronicle of the survivors. And across the great salt flats, a new sound begins to echo on the wind.